Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're making a caramel mousse cake, so please stay tuned. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for taking out the time to check out my channel. Please smash that subscribe button, and while you're at it, you might as well ring that bell. That way you're part of the notification squad and you get to know when I upload my videos, which is every Saturday and Sunday. Alright, without further ado, let's get into it. I'll start off by making the caramel and the caramel meringue glaze. Both of these need to set ahead of time, as in they need to cool off before I can be able to use them. So I would suggest you make this 4 hours before you attempt to make this recipe. Next we'll whip some heavy cream to soft peaks, then we'll slowly add the caramel that has been sitting at room temperature to the heavy cream. By the way, I'm using the caramel meringue glaze to flavor the caramel mousse because it has gelatin in it, and that will help the cake hold its shape a lot better. I then make an Italian meringue and fold it into the caramel whipped cream and put this into a piping bag, and then I start filling the mold. I'll pop a link in the description for a video that goes a lot more into detail on how to make an Italian meringue. This cake is going to have a liquid caramel filling, so it needs to have a firm base. So I fill the caramel mousse into the mold. I scrape as much as possible into the sides, making sure I get nice firm walls. Then I pop this into a freezer for 4 hours to set. While that's going, we're going to start working on our gluten-free coconut and almond biscuit. To make the gluten-free biscuit, I weigh out some almond and coconut flour with some powdered sugar, and I set it aside in a mixing bowl. I then start working on a French meringue using some honey. To do that, I whip up some egg whites until they're nice and frothy. Then I slowly drizzle in the honey and continue whipping until it reaches soft peaks. I then gently fold the egg whites into the coconut and almond flour mixture to make the dough for the biscuit. I then grease the cake pan with some coconut oil. If you do not have coconut oil, feel free to use butter or cooking spray. Either one should work just fine. And then firmly squish the dough into the bottom surface of the cake pan and bake this in a preheated oven at 325 for 20 to 25 minutes. The finished product should have a nice and golden brown crust. It should be soft in the middle. If it's hard, you did something wrong. Next, we'll start working on the bottom half of the cake. Remember, I had worked on the first half and popped it in the freezer for it to set. That way I could be able to pour the caramel right on the top surface without it spilling everywhere. Now that the caramel is poured into the cake, I will then add some nuts, sprinkle them on the top surface, and pop this in the freezer to set for about 45 minutes. I then made another batch of caramel mousse that I piped right on top of this. And once that was done, I spread it around nice and evenly. At this point, the biscuit should be nice and cool, and you go ahead and pop it right on top of this. Smooth out the top surface and pop this bad boy in a freezer for about 6 hours for the caramel mousse to set. Once the mousse was set, I molded the cake and popped it back in the freezer for about 5 minutes just for the outside surface to firm up again. If you ever unmold a cake and you try to glaze it right away, the glaze is just going to drip all over the cake and you're not going to get a nice shiny effect. It's going to look all messy and stuff, so that's a free tip for y'all to watch out for. Alrighty, now I'm glazing it with a caramel meringue glaze. By the way, if I did not mention this earlier, I'm saying this again. I'll pop a link in the description for the caramel meringue glaze recipe. Please feel free to check that video out. It's one of my most popular videos on this channel. Thank you. Alright, beautiful people, thank you so much for taking the time out to check out my channel. But I gotta get up out of here. It's Sunday, it's my day off. You know, I can't spend the whole day with you guys. I know it's just 5 minutes, but it feels like forever doing this voiceovers. If you're new here, please do not forget to smash that subscribe button. As usual, it's your boy, the Lazy Pastry Chef. Peace and love, everybody.